Hello and welcome to another episode of Footy Corner. I'm Sparks. Nice to see you all. If you're in here, please make sure you're liking and subscribing and commenting in the channel, in the comment box, and we'll reply to them as we get, or as I see them really, because that's kind of how it goes along. We've got a new guest for you. It hasn't been on the show before. Charlie, how are we, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on, and it's always great to talk about Arsenal, especially after what transpired last midweek.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But, let's do the weekend first. But we'll get to the transpiration and what we expect from that one. But Bez, how we going, my man?
Trying to stay in one piece, I promise. After the weekend, I'll say after the weekend.
What do you mean after the weekend?
Well, after the Bournemouth game, no? Or is it Brentford game?
Brentford game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still in? You're still in outpatients for that?
A little bit.
Am I the only one that's just not having a meltdown at all? I just really don't care.
Oh yeah, no, I'm chill. I didn't care whatsoever.
No, I wanted to maybe a little better performance, a little bit better, you know.
Why?
Okay, I'll put the drink down. I guess we're not second gear. That's what I say. We're not second gear.
Yeah, we don't want second gear, do we?
I know we.
The whole point of second gear is like we might get injured then.
Fine.
Do you not think though?
No, I'm thinking about it now. Well, now that you said it, I agree with what you're saying. I see what you mean now. Yes, fair enough.
I mean, what did you think when you saw the lineup come out?
No, I'm not saying about the lineup. I just wanted a bit more fluidity across the pitch, from my opinion. So
a bit more vavavoom.
Bit more champagne football, as we say. I don't know.
We don't have champagne football anymore, do we?
Okay, vavavoom then. Vavavoom it is. I don't know.
Yeah. What was your take on the lineup when it came out, Charlie? Or if you really
bothered to be fair, as long as I didn't get any injuries, I didn't really care. Can't lie.
So you were fine with Party playing right back, and
yeah. Other than that drives me mad. But then for this,
I know it drives you mad. That's why I asked you.
This is the only game that you'll ever see me not caring about where Partey plays, because the game means absolutely nothing. So
yeah, but the thing was that there was no other option really to play at right back anyway, was there? White had basically taken a knock the day before, and you don't want to risk the other players getting injured anyway. So what other option is there? So we kind of just suck it up and hope he don't get injured, innit?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what Bez is saying about like wanting to win and all that, but I mean, it was like I had not an argument, but I had a massive disagreement with quite a few people about the performance, and
I can't believe that for a second, Charlie.
I can.
I can't believe you disagree with anybody ever,
mate. You know how I roll, innit?
Oh, I know exactly how you roll. That's why you informing us.
I love a little wind-up session or a little disagreement session on purpose. It's funny.
Yes.
We've been there before. That's what I say.
Yeah, we've seen a few of them.
I've had my own fair share of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've had meltdowns as well. So it's yeah. I mean, my biggest thing is really when people tell you how to support, right? That's my biggest grievance, right? And I pay for a season ticket. I don't care if you pay for a season ticket or not, but I don't know what qualifies you to tell me how to support my team. But I support my team how I see fit, and if I want to whinge and moan about whatever, then that's what I'm going to do. If I don't want to, then that's also what I'm going to do. But then I don't tell anybody else that they can't do it either. So I just see loads of people on streams. I saw a Villa fan the other day, and he was basically, talking to an Arsenal fan, and he's basically telling him that he's got to have chest, and he's got to do this, and he's got to do that, and he's got to do the other. and that Villa were getting further than Arsenal. And well, I think we'll find out tonight that's probably not going to be the case. Do you think Villa are going to get past further than Arsenal? Do you think they're getting past PSG?
No, I think the third goal kills them. But to your point about
coming into that 2-1 down, I think they'd been all right.
To your point though about the chest thing, like I see it all the time, and a lot of that is because what they want to do is they want to catch you out. So if you start giving it the big one and then the result goes against you, they can then either clip you up or they could just retweet a tweet that you said like,
or just rinse you completely because you've basically said that you're going to win. And
it's like why it's why I like hate watching other teams.
Yeah, see, hate watching isn't really for me, to be honest with you.
Oh, mate, I love it because when people give it the big one and then their team loses, and then I see their Twitter accounts, the energy I have for them is unreal.
Yeah, but the problem is it works the other way, doesn't it? So
of course,
when it doesn't actually work.
I don't go hiding. I'm always here.
I hate to interrupt you both in this segment, but what I do myself, I just look. I'm like a neutral when I sit back. I'd rather not be that other fan, but I sit as a neutral. I don't know if you guys know, but like in Star Wars, I do that. The Emperor laugh in the background, like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just can't help myself. So Tottenham, I was like, oh, I just feel better already. Thank you very much, Tottenham. You give me a nice.
I mean, Tottenham's not even funny anymore. It's just boring.
It's every week. Sorry, Man United. I'm sorry if I cut you off again, but United, I was like, just giggled. I was like, okay, well done, Newcastle, well done.
Yeah, I just have sympathy for Tottenham fans now. I just kind of
A little bit as well, yeah.
I get that, but it's like we've been there and we've been in the trenches, and it's not actually that long ago, and we know how it rolls. And
I'll tell you why, Sparks, they deserve it the most, yeah, because last season they were celebrating against their own team just so we didn't win the titles, and now they can all hold it.
But you listen to a lot of them, and they say that they didn't do that. No.
Yeah, but you look at all of them in the ground.
Oh, I've got receipts on Twitter. Don't worry about that. That's exactly what happened.
You look at all of them in the ground. Yeah, when Son was through 1-on-1, you could see them behind the goal putting their hands over their faces.
The best one was where they got the sky blue shirt, the white and the blue kind of cross section. And they're going, oh, it's just a retro shirt and this, that, and the other. And you're like, yeah, because this guy hasn't got 40 shirts in his wardrobe, and he managed to pluck that one out because you're playing Man City. Yeah, of course that happened, didn't it? Yeah, it's like, are you sure? So I get the no sympathy thing, but we're all fans at the end of the day, and we all know how it feels to be kind of in the pits. I mean,
can I please add this? Like literally, as you already know, I don't know if Charlie know, but literally, Charlie, I was there for the Newcastle semi-final game. Fine, whatever happened. Sorry if I just bring this up quickly. I told everyone for the cup final, the League Cup final. I told them I want to support Newcastle because one of my mates has a pub. The family literally are Liverpool fans. So I don't want to support Liverpool. I'll go give it sick the whole entire week of this. I was like, well, I don't care.
What, because you're supporting Newcastle?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Okay. I literally got given a lot of bollocking, long story short. But that is my decision. On the day, I will support what I choose to support, right? It's my decision, right?
I mean,
go on.
All right, yeah, cheers. Geezer I work with, my manager, he's a Liverpool fan, yeah. And he is just no. So because of him, I now don't like Liverpool. So therefore, I was hate watching Liverpool in that final. Purely because of him.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, over time, I've been fine with Liverpool and whatever. I don't really care. And I was just like, well, Newcastle haven't won anything for 70 years or whatever it is. So I don't really want them to win. But all the crap that came out like the week before, and oh yeah, we didn't say anything about the quadruple. You're like, there must have been different accounts to what I was watching, because I heard it come out of people's mouths. Mr. Morley himself, that's kind of, yeah, I never said that, I never did that. Well, You make a video for everything. So unless you took that down, which I know you didn't take it down because I've seen it still up there, saying that's what you said. And I'm sure he does it for bait, just to get people looking through his previous videos for the evidence.
Mate, he's getting clipped up in it. As soon as you say something ridiculous like that, you get clipped up.
Yeah, but he does it all the time. And I mean
they
he kind of disappeared for a bit, didn't he? And then kind of came back. So
yeah, but they literally did exactly what we did. They went out 2 cup competitions in a week. So, you know, like...
I just
I know you're talking about very well. I know who you hello.
Good evening, Mark. How are we? We've got here Hunterizo. Welcome in. How are we?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But we were not this bad. This bad. The worst position Arsenal was 8th, so I don't feel sympathy for Spurs. We were 12th at one point. I mean, I know we didn't stay there, but 12th at one point. So yeah, I feel that. I kind of get it. But I'm just talking about empathy from a fan point of view, not from a support of.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I get that.
That's all I'm saying. They laughed at our team so many times. They still do, mate. They're 13th, and they still laugh at it. And I guarantee you, if they're doing combined 11s, that hardly any of our players get in still. So yeah, Bissouma's probably still up there over Rice and all this nonsense.
Brennan Johnson over Saka.
Brennan Johnson over Saka. That was the best one.
No, DJ Spence over Saka. Sorry, DJ Spence over Saka. No.
Well, the thing is that they've got an actual striker, and I'd still put Havertz in over their actual striker.
No, I'd put Marino in over their actual striker.
Well, there is that as well, but yeah.
Marino's a little bag.
Where's Kulusevski in all this anyway?
So yeah, I'd still do that, but there we go. Evening, G. How are we? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Everybody, if you're in here, please make sure you're liking and subscribing. Get your comments in the chat and we can respond to them as well. What's this? Azaguna, we never feel sorry for them. What's LW?
Yeah, Sparks, I think you're outnumbered here, fella.
I think I probably am. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just getting soft in my old age. I think that's maybe what it is. What's LW mean?
Lily Whites.
Oh,
okay.
That's just a guess.
Maybe.
Oi? What?
Oi.
I don't know. We're just putting random letters in now, I think. They're lucky not to be relegated. Well, they and Man United are very lucky that there are 3 teams that are sufficiently worse than them. I see Man United fans going like that. We need to get to the 40 points, and you're like, well, no, you don't really, do you? So that they can rotate for the European competition. The one that really gets to me that they're rotating for the European competition is Chelsea. I don't understand it. Do you?
I don't even take any notice of them because that competition is just absolute.
No, but what I'm saying is that gives you Europa League if you win it. Surely you should be concentrating. He's rested players from the Premier League for the Conference League.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. If I was in that competition, yeah, I know full well that even if I won that competition, I'm still getting mocked by every fan base online.
Well, so, I mean, if you're celebrating it, you should be getting mocked unless you're a lower team. If you're a West Ham or something like that, then fair enough. I'm completely fine with you celebrating it. If you're a Chelsea, that's basically Standards FC themselves. It's a bit ridiculous that you're celebrating Conference League and claiming it as a set. They're actually claiming it as a set. So they basically have the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League.
Super Cup as well, I think.
Come on. Imagine us doing that.
Can I say that's so cringy in my eyes? It's so cringy.
I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Mate, I'll tell you this, though. This is a pure example. When I want to see, and I'll say one of them, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but basically, when I was there for the Chelsea Arsenal game this season, we'll hear Chelsea fans singing anti Arsenal songs about our players. I think, man, your players, you bought everything. I'm sorry, I don't have it wrong just yet. Because
with it with Chelsea.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Literally,
mean,
like,
I mean, I get them not wanting us to win the Champions League, though. I get that.
fine. Fine,
I
have it
get,
their
I
way,
get,
no?
I get it with Spurs as well. I don't really get it with Man United because even if we won one Champions League, they've got 3, so I don't really
Right.
get that. Liverpool, the same. They've got 6. So what difference does it make it if we get 1?
Because our
So,
fan base is unbearable, remember?
yeah, well, I'm sorry, but the Liverpool fan base is the original unbearable fan base.
Thank you.
And
Someone said it. My God, sorry to stop you.
I'm
But thank
sorry
God.
that they literally have to make everything about them. It doesn't matter what you say. You could say my wall's blue, and they go, well, yeah, it's not the same color blue that I've got on my wall, so my blue wall's better. It just always looking for validation. It's just ridiculous.
Can I
Do you not
something to that?
think?
Can I say something to that, please?
Go on.
Okay, when they won the title in 20, was it 2019-20? I get it, they won the title for over 30 years, right? I get it, Liverpool, what they've been through as a club. Yes, we know about the Hillsborough, with no respect. I'm not here to talk about that bad thing to make fun of them, of course, now. But man, we're supposed to feel sorry for them. Yet they won the title, like with no fans, and then they're still bickering. Oh, Arsenal fans, have a look at us. We won the title. Because I had colleagues and I had managers who were Liverpool fans as well. And I gave back to them. I said, guys, how does it feel to be languishing down as well? Pre-Jurgen Klopp, there were nowhere to be seen, no? I'm sorry, but pre-Jurgen, there were nowhere to be seen in the league, just on and off like a
Well,
bouncy
that's what they
castle.
do, though, isn't it? When they're crap, they disappear.
Yes.
And when they're good, they come out of the woodwork. And it's at least Arsenal fans are consistent.
That's my point, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't jump off.
Even if we're bad, we'll say stuff.
Is that man? I don't want to say his name, but you know, there's that man. Is that man who likes to make fun of us? He says that Arsenal. I'm sure you want to have a dig at us. I know who he is, and I'm sure you know who he is. But I'm telling you, I want to feel like saying to him,
Which one's
bro.
that?
I forgot his name, but he's a Liverpool fan. I think he's Egyptian. Bless his heart. It's not because he's Egyptian,
Oh,
but he's Liverpool.
Hassam.
I know you say to me, Habibi, what's your problem? I say, yeah, because you're the
His
problem.
name's Hassam, isn't it? Don
Yeah,
Hassam.
because
forget now.
he lives with a lot. He lives around lots of Arsenal fans, and naturally he's going to hate them because all his mates are Arsenal fans.
Oh, is that
Okay.
what it is?
But that's
So
why
I
I'm getting a
hate
bit
Manchester
triggered.
United because of their fans, because I think they're the worst fan base in the world.
Yeah, but again, that's because we're surrounded by them, isn't it? I mean,
No, but they're the worst. They're genuinely the worst fan base in the world.
we're in
Like,
London, but there's one that comes on here, and he basically says that the Man United are going to win the league in 3 years before Arsenal win it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
I mean,
I leave that. That. I leave that. That.
whoever,
I'll leave
yeah,
that there.
whoever that is, you need to ask them what they're smoking.
well, I mean, we'll get him on when you're on at some point, and
Have
Yeah, I'll
fun.
cook him.
in fact, you can ask him in the Twitter chat.
Yeah,
He'll
I'll
be in
cook
there.
him right there and then. I'll cook him.
He'll be in there. Don't worry. I'll give you I'll give you the link to him, so you'll have some fun with him. Honestly,
Nice guy though. He's a nice guy.
he
as
is a
well.
nice guy, but he's very delusional. Yeah. Don't any rival fans, but their lies get to me every single time. Yeah, well, this is the thing that the transfer budget is the biggest one for me, where it literally it increases every time somebody tweets it. It's like it starts off at the 650 million where it is, and then it goes to 750 and 850, and it's a billion or near a billion or all this nonsense, and you're like, right, but your club's done the same, right? Because we all need to spend money. It's kind of what you have to do. But there you go. Just over 24 hours to go. How are we feeling? Well, why not? How are we feeling?
Go on, Bez.
Oh God, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Well, but that's why we're here, isn't it?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling optimistic for us. I'm feeling. Let's just take it and just start well. Start well with a calm mindset. That's what I say. My eyes.
Are you of the feeling that he'll go for a ridiculous low block, or we'll just play a normal game, or what you thinking is going to happen?
Conservative, if that makes sense. Like sit back a bit, press them a bit as well from the get-go, if that makes sense. Not too much, but like press them.
So you think it's going to be not a park the bus, but kind of hold your own and play on a counter sort of thing?
In that retrospective, yes, pretty much. Long story short, yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Would
Yeah.
you agree with that, Charlie?
I've been thinking about this for a while actually, and you know
No
what
pressure. No
you know what
pressure.
Arteta's like, mate. He's very stubborn, but I think he ain't daft in it. This is probably the worst place to go to on a Champions League night. So he's probably sitting there thinking, I don't think he's going to play this disgusting low block that a lot of people are manifesting. I don't think he's going to do that. I think, unlike at the Emirates when we pressed them and forced them into, I don't think we'll press high up the pitch. I think we'll play like a mid block, and then we'll only go forwards when the opportunity arises. So I think we'll stay in our shape, and then if there's a break on or they give it to us cheaply, then I think we'll go after them. Because I think the main objective is do not concede in the opening half hour. If we don't concede in the opening half hour, I think we're sweet.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I think it's more. I think the first 15 minutes is crucial. And it's going to be in stages from there, isn't it? It's kind of going to be in blocks. He likes to do things in blocks. So I think it'll be like you say, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, half time. Get in there either 0-0 or 1-0 up. 1-0 up at half time. Do we? We've got to be going for that, really, haven't we?
I think if we score at all before they do, the tie's over.
So I think I agree with that, but I think if we can ride the first half and actually score in the first half, they either have to come gung ho at us, which opens it up, and we just turn it into a bloody basketball match, or yeah, if it's anything like if they're 2-0 up at half time, then we're in trouble.
Yes.
In my opinion, but
we need to try and keep it 0-0 as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I want 0-0 for the whole game. To be honest with you,
I actually think we'll lose on the night. Personally, I actually think we will lose on the night, but I think we'll only lose like 1-0, 2-1 or something.
Oh, okay. What do you think? What do you think the score will be? Bess?
Well, I said 2-0 for the first leg. I'll say, well, definitely not a loss. I don't want to see a loss, especially for me. It's a bit.
We can afford to lose, can't we? We can actually afford to lose, but we don't necessarily want to. But
yeah, but still as well, try and go for a bit of the glory. So I'll say.
The thing is, if we're 2-0 down, we don't want to be going for glory. We're literally, that's the point, to be shutting up shop.
Okay, I'll say maybe like a scrappy draw. I don't know, a scrappy draw, like a score draw, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I as I said, I wouldn't mind just scoring first, and it puts, not that the onus isn't on them anyway, because I think we'd done the job in the first leg anyway. But I think that if we get through the first half and unscathed, yeah, and they haven't broken the deadlock or whatever, even if it's 0-0 at half time,
Did me switch. Sorry, did me switch. Can't help myself.
You're all right there, Charlie. You've gone black screen, mate.
Oh no, but yeah, I'll keep
this. No, it's not all right.
I'll keep this to a point.
Let's do this. Whenever Arsenal go for something, we always have to be let down by controversial decisions and lack of squad depth. But I won't give up hope knowing we can win Champions League or Premier League. Yeah, I mean the Premier League's definitely out the window, isn't it? But here he is. Yeah, obviously the Premier League's out the window. We're not really bothered about that anymore. We just kind of got to keep looking at getting some points, and we got 6 games left, and we stay in the position that we're in. I don't even care if we drop to third or even fourth, to be honest with you. Obviously, depending on what happens tomorrow night, because obviously, if we go out tomorrow night, which God forbid that doesn't happen, then obviously, second is an absolute must. But
Yes.
yeah, there we go. What's this? The haters gunners because we are playing well, and they hate the fact that we are a serious threat. Yeah, I mean they really just don't like it, do they? But yeah, we just need to be able to finish our games with a good score line. Yeah, I mean, again, I completely agree with that. But yeah, so there's been a hell of a lot basically on social media. The hype around the whole thing is getting a bit out of control, and yeah, are they a bit butthurt? Is this what's happening? That they didn't give us a respect in the first leg. They didn't expect to be behind at all, and now they're under pressure, Charlie, aren't they?
Oh yeah, massive. Our thing is though, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I actually think they did respect us because for large parts of the game they didn't press us.
I think
They
that's
just let
more
us have
because
the
they're
ball.
lazy, though.
Nah, because when we did get the ball in midfield, like to Skelly and all that, they didn't press us. They literally just let us turn around and pass it through the lines.
Yeah, but do you not think that's a
I
lack of
think
respect? That they're basically going, well, you can't create anything anyway, so
no, see, I think that's a sign of more
all
respect.
right.
The fact that they're dropping towards their own box instead of pressing us. A team that doesn't respect you would just press you aimlessly for the sake of it, and like and you'd be able to just play around them. Ancelotti knows that we're good with a football, so he didn't press us because he didn't want to get played through.
Mm.
You look at the third goal, we sort of played through them from the back because they tried to press us, and then yeah, they end up 3-0 down.
Yeah, how good was that third goal, by the way?
Yeah, it was class, but that's what I mean. They tried to press us, and we just broke up the pitch and caught them out. For large parts of the game, especially in the first half, they sat in a mid block with Vinicius Junior and Mbappe up top. Obviously, yes, them two are fairly lazy, but their game plan was to counter with them
Yeah,
two
exactly.
in
They tried to
behind.
use the speed on the break, didn't they? But they never
Yeah,
really broke. I mean, I thought
but
they were going to score with Mbappe anyway, but Raya did really well.
but the fact that Camavinga, Bellingham, and I know Modric is an old man now, but the fact that they allowed Lewis Skelly and Thomas Partey the amount of time on the ball that they did, to me, was
Well,
baffling.
that's what I mean by the respect thing. I don't think that they did necessarily kind of respect everything properly, but yeah, maybe I just see things slightly differently to you really. But yeah, I mean I see all these things. Bez, with are we going to close the roof? We're going to do this, and everybody's scared. And I saw one tonight that basically says everybody in England is scared.
I mean, scared of our play style, scared of our potential, or in what way?
No, we're
Sorry.
scared of Madrid. Apparently, you're scared of the comeback.
I don't think we should.
No
Oh,
way.
yeah, exactly. Sorry. Let's keep this in a concise way. Not scared, but we should embrace the challenge, in my eyes. Embrace the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand them saying that. Obviously, you know, we're we're conscious of the fact that it's Real Madrid and they can mount a comeback. And to be honest with you, if that happens, I'll be more critical of my own team than I will of Real Madrid. To be honest.
The reason why they not keep my sorry bits, because I don't know. Remind me if I already spoke about you the previous podcast. Maybe we spoke after the game last week, didn't we not?
What the weekend?
Well, I mean the Champions League game. Sorry, we spoke about it.
Possibly, yeah, probably.
So basically, and
I
I
had a
said,
few
I think
drinks, so I can't remember.
well, I refresh your memory. I kind of what I saw in my eyes, like, okay, I do like Bellingham, but when he kind of tackled Saka, the way he did it was kind of nasty. I'm not gonna dig at him. For me, it was a
Yeah,
very nasty piece of work to do. But the way Skellington had the same like a little tuck between each other, Like he's way, as we said, yeah, we have the way he pushed him to say, "Can you like clear off? Like get off my chest, mate. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm a young lad now. He's old enough to know, hopefully, not to react to these things." Because I'm saying this, I saw the highlights of the Real Madrid game on the weekend. Yesterday won, but Mbappe got a red card for something a bit cynical. And I feel like Bellingham needs to
That
tone
wasn't
down his.
cynical. That was downright nasty. That was.
Well, that's what I'm alluding to. But I'm saying to you
Yeah.
how the fact is like they pretend like as if they can get away with murder. This Leeds lot. It's not that I'm
Yeah.
never taking Bellingham. I do like him, but just feel that sometimes they need to tone down the dark hearts, so called, that we get told off for it now.
Yeah, for sure.
You see what I mean?
But to your Real Madrid team, Sparks, yeah, no one's scared of Real Madrid. It's in like their team. Like no one's scared of it. Arsenal proved that in the first leg. Sure. The only thing that people are like trying to make of this second leg is the history and heritage of Real Madrid, not the 11 players on the pitch. For sure.
No, I agree with
that. They're going on about the 15-time winners, as in like the history of how they are in the competition, not the 11 players that are on the pitch. Like, and they're looking at Arsenal, who have never won the competition before and have only made one final.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by the kind of disrespect that's kind of come with it. That's what I mean by that, because we've never won it. They kind of went, well, doesn't matter. They've never won it anyway. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, but I think that's a fandom disrespect. I don't think that's a club to club disrespect. I think that's a disrespect in terms of fans. Because on the pitch, to me, from the first leg that I watched, Real Madrid showed my players a lot of respect by not pressing us. They decided to set up in this mid block and try and play on the counter attack.
I see that.
So, and I've got a feeling that even though they might go after us in the early stages of the game, if they can't break us down, they'll start running out of ideas very quickly and they'll get frustrated. And that's all we need to do. Mikel will be there. And this is the thing as well. People are not like, as much as I'm not Mikel's biggest fan, especially at this moment in time, that man has got a brain, bro. His football IQ is top. He'll be sitting there right now showing the players all this propaganda and all this social media hype that the Madridsters and the Madrid players and all that are going to be getting from there. And he'll be like, boys, you man need to use this as energy.
Charlie, sorry if I interrupt you. I'm sorry. I mean this for real. Sorry to interrupt you. Don't forget that Arteta used to play in the youth Barcelona team as well, way back. So he knows he knows what he's getting himself into as a manager now. He played football for a long time. Not a long time, but a long time. He's a midfield. We know exactly what he will hopefully, provided he shows some tricks up his sleeve as a manager.
He's got a slide tackle up his sleeve. Have you seen that?
I've seen it, I think.
He's also got a handball up his sleeve as well.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, again, that's kind of down to the referees to give that. And they're if they're.
Have you seen the referee? There was a French guy. He's a French guy we have, right? He's very strict. He's very strict, that referee.
You got no camera, man.
Yeah, but we need a powerful referee, because we can't have a referee that's going to get influenced by the Bernabeu Real Madrid players just moaning constantly. We need someone that's actually going to be powerful enough not to get influenced.
I mean, I thought the referee at the Emirates was a bit like that anyway. He was a bit like giving them everything that they wanted anyway. So
yeah, in the first half he was definitely. Every time there was a tackle on one of our players, it was play on. But then every time we did the exact same thing, it was a free kick.
It was a bit bizarre, and
that's why I have an agenda against referees, because it just seems like whenever we have, no matter who the referee is, whenever we're playing, they're immediately against us.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of disagree with that. At some points, it's definitely it definitely stands out more than others that certain players can get away with certain things. Now, obviously, that also depends on the profile of the player themselves, and how much they respect that profile of player. So obviously they've got more high profile players than us, so that's probably a big thing as well. But I mean, obviously I don't know what the excuse with Norgard was, to be honest with you, but
I don't know. I mean, I know what people are saying about it, and it's a bad tackle, but I don't think it's a red.
Do you not?
I've seen quite a few tackles like that this season that have been yellow cards, and no one's really complaining about
Yeah,
it.
but I get a funny feeling if it was the other way around, it'd been a red card.
Well, it's malice.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but we know that. Yeah, but we know
I'm sure,
that.
but there's malice
We're not-
there.
we're
You
not-
see the intent, isn't it? No,
Yeah,
Sparks. There's
yeah.
malice involved in this. There's some
I mean, he's
sustainable
nowhere near
intent.
the ball anyway, is he? So
That's what we alluded to. That's what we alluded to. There was malice in it. It was malicious. I mean, I know I sound like a football manager, but this is malice in my eyes.
Yeah, I definitely think it was naughty, to be honest.
Fair enough.
The Real team still don't respect us. You know why? Because they think we're beatable. They think we're singing remontada in every video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the perception that I kind of get. And you're like, well, it's just not true, I'm afraid. Sorry, it's just not true.
I mean, every team's beatable.
Yeah, I mean, we've done the hardest bit, and granted, it's on our ground. So all right, so maybe the hardest bit is backing it up now, isn't it? Or do you see that as the easiest bit? We've actually done the hard bit.
Depends on which way you look at it, I guess, because most people I know, especially like here, never gave us a chance, not even in the first leg. And now them same people are saying that if we go out, it'll be an absolute catastrophe. But yet you were saying before the first leg that we had zero chance of winning the game. So don't change your energy now just because it doesn't suit your agenda.
Yeah, I was listening to other podcasts, and it was basically saying, and it was obviously after the game, where this is the worst Real Madrid team, this is that, this is this, that, and the other. And you're like, right, okay, if you'd done a combined 11 before the game, you'll put in about 2 Arsenal players in it, and that's that. So you can't come now basically saying, you know, oh, they're crap, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, we expected it to happen. If you called it out in the first place and went, oh, yeah, well, I expect them to get trashed, then fair enough. But, you know, don't store up the energy and then go, right, okay, well, yeah, I expected that. Because you clearly didn't, did you? You know, it's just mad.
But then these same people that are saying it'll be a catastrophe if we go out are predicting Real Madrid to win 4-0.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So for me, I'm not hearing any of it.
No,
I'm not hearing any
it's just bias. It is just bias. And you know, when I was growing up, it was like, you know, we always used to root for English teams in the Champions League, and gradually that's kind of been wound out because nobody wants to see anybody win, and it's just like
tribalism.
Yeah, it is pure tribalism, and it's like, well, there's a reason that the 5th place is now open in Champions League, and it's not because your club did anything. It's because the other teams in the Champions League went so far, and where they're finished in the table. So it's like, well, we've kind of done you a favour, and you're still basically just slagging us off.
You know.
Yeah, but to be fair though, from our point of view, I'd expect a Chelsea fan or a Tottenham fan, and maybe even a Manchester United fan, not so much them lot, but definitely Chelsea. I don't blame them for not wanting to see us anywhere near the final. Like, I'd be exactly the same if it was the other way around. No matter what competition they was in, I'd want them out.
I don't agree with that from a Liverpool point of view. I think it shouldn't make any difference, and I think that the only reason that they have an issue with it is because they think that they should have done better.
Yeah, because they won the league phase for no reason whatsoever, just to go out in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the league phase works.
I do. I like it.
But what gets me is, right, so you basically go through all that league phase, and then the last 16 and, well, basically the last 8, is it last 8 and the semi-final, it's basically drawn where you are, whether you get the advantage of home and away. And what it should do is if you finish third like we finished third, and Real Madrid finished 15th or whatever it was, then we should get the advantage. It shouldn't be
I
a
don't
draw.
disagree with that.
So right up to the final, you should basically go, right, the league phase is you keep that number where you finished. So if first plays third, for example, whoever first is gets the advantage of the home tie last.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think I do like the league phase, to be fair, because it means you get 8 games against 8 different teams.
I don't disagree with that. And the last game where everything was like a bit of a bonanza and everything's played at the same time, I kind of like that. That was box office, so I kind of like that. But I just don't feel that the actual stage of it, the actual league part of it, there's enough benefit for it.
No, yeah, especially if you're a Liverpool fan, because but then on the flip side of that, you can caveat that by saying, well, PSG were crap in the league phase. Yeah, they finished where they finished.
So were Real Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. They finished where they finished.
Yeah,
that's how the cookie crumbles. That's your draw. That's how the cookie crumbles. Get on with it. You're gonna have
why
to play
change
them
it
at
then?
some point.
Do you know what I mean? Why change it if you're getting the same outcome anyway?
Yeah, you were going to have to play them at some point. If you play them in the round of 16 or the semi-finals, you're going to have to play them at some point.
Yeah, but you've done all that work in the league phase to basically get an easier draw.
Yeah, but that's a them problem for me, because
but it could have been our problem.
Yeah, but it wasn't our problem because we the way the thing, because they even before the thingy was drawn, we knew that we were playing a team that finished 13th or 14th in the league phase. Liverpool knew they were playing a team that finished 20th or 13th, I think it was. And I think, ours was like 16th or 17th.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So Liverpool had the choice of PSG, who finished 20th, through PSG being crap. So you would have thought on paper the 20th place in the league phase would be a dead rubber team.
I get that, yeah. It's just that you kind of adding more jeopardy for the sake of it and not really getting that much in return. And I see that obviously you're playing 2 less games as well because you're not playing a playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. But PSG had to play a playoff game as well just to qualify.
So, and Real Madrid played that. I do wish City had done us a favour.
Nah.
Really, you would prefer to play Real Madrid in this stage than play Man City?
No, see, I prefer to have been on the other side of the draw, but I knew the draw was never going to favour us. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying if Man City are in that position, then I'd much rather play them, to be honest.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd much rather play. Yeah, 100%. Well,
this Man City definitely anyway. So yeah. What's this? When we defend, we call dark arts, haramble, and all this stuff. I mean, this is the other thing. I seen obviously when the 2 free kicks went in. Obviously set piece FC came in again, and you're like, we haven't scored a free kick directly since 2021
in Europe, right?
No.
Okay.
That was Odegaard against Burnley, I think.
It was Odegaard against Burnley. And there was one against PSG that Saka scored. But apparently that doesn't count. Don't ask me why it doesn't count. I've got no idea.
Because it was more a cross, wasn't it? It weren't really. It was more a cross that just went all the way in. I agree with that. That shouldn't really count because he weren't shooting, was it? He was just crossing it into the box and it just went all the way in.
It's on target though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a cross. It's not a shot. He hasn't attempted to score. He's literally just put it into the box and it's just gone all the way through.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. If you're having a shot at goal and it's on target, just a normal shot, it's on target, and then somebody else,
Yeah, but there's the key word there for you, Sparks. He wasn't shooting; he was crossing it in.
Yeah, I mean, he came off his foot, and it was going towards the goal.
Oh, right, here we go. So we're going to do that now, are we? Because you know I'm right. We're going to do that now, are we?
Oh God.
I mean, I mean, it's not like nobody else would do it.
I mean, yeah, it's his goal because no one touched it, but it's not a shot; it's a cross.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah. We can do some mental gymnastics. It's not an issue, really. Oh dear. So yeah, what was the other one? It's one of the reasons we need to win the Premier League or Champions League this season. Or
I mean,
coming
I
season.
said at the start of the season that this manager had to win one of the big two for me.
Right. So we got a bit of time left, so let's go with that then, because I wasn't going to do this today, but since we've kind of gone down the avenue, why not? So what are your thoughts now? You know, if we go through against Real Madrid and we get knocked out in the semi-final, right? For argument's sake, what are we saying about the manager? What are we saying about the board? What is the thought process?
You going first, Bez, or me?
I'll let you crack on, but I've got something boiling up there. Sorry.
Oh my God!
No worries.
We're going to go down up and down the M25.
Shut up, you! I'm not going that route. I'm going the North Circular, mate. The North Circular near me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
The balls are out always out at any point. The manager, if we go through to the semi-finals, yeah, and we play brilliant over two legs, but we get knocked out to absolute screamers or just unluckiness, then I can accept that. But if we go through and we get knocked out by two absolute shameful performances, because I'm not being funny, yeah, everyone's gloating about PSG, but we beat this PSG team, yeah, and
well, it's not quite the same.
I guarantee if Real Madrid, what's that?
It's not quite the same PSG team, is it?
Yeah, I knew you was going to say that, and this is now where I'm going to caveat that. Yeah, this PSG team, yeah, are open as anything. When you watch them play, they're open as anything. They high press you, but you get the ball in behind them, you're in on their defence. You're in on them. Yeah, the team Liverpool didn't do it enough. And in the second leg, to be fair to them, they had bucket loads of chances, Liverpool, but they didn't take them and end up going out on penalties.
Yeah.
I said, if we win this quarter-final tie, we'll make the final because we're better than Villa and I believe that we're a better team than PSG. Like PSG, they look good on the eye and all that, but...
I don't know. I don't think they do.
When you watch them play, I think they look decent, to be fair.
Against Villa, though, I think
no, but even against Liverpool, the first leg against Liverpool, they came to Liverpool.
Yeah.
They just didn't score. But even in the second leg at Anfield, at times, the way they were just playing good football. But this is my point. I think we're better than both of those teams.
Do you think that they kind of exploited a weakness of Liverpool, though? And basically if we can get to their back line, then that's how we beat Liverpool.
Yes. You took the words out of my mouth. I think they completely exploited Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't think they played through the midfield. I think they played around the midfield more or less, and kind of went down the wings and kind of, they played Liverpool at their own game, I thought.
But then this is the other thing, Sparks, with PSG. We've played them already and beaten them fairly comfortably, yeah. And even then, when we played them, they didn't go through the middle. They kept going wide because they know if they try and go through the middle, we're 9 times out of 10 with the players that we've got against their players are going to be stronger physically. And technically, I'd say we're better than them as well in the midfield. Yeah, so their only option was to go wide.
Yeah, but personally, Aston Villa, they could go straight through the middle.
Yeah, Aston Villa will go straight through the middle. But the difference is, though, I'd rather play PSG because with Aston Villa, you've got the whole Unai Emery thing in it. And he's got Arteta's number. He just has his number. So, for me, I'd rather play against PSG because we've beaten them already. And if we play anything like we did against Madrid, against PSG, we'll beat them more than 3-0. Because PSG are not as good as Madrid. In terms of players on the pitch, they're not as good. So
at what point does the Arteta-Emery debate go to sleep then?
Well, Arteta's got to win. He's got to, like for me, like I said, he had to win one of the big ones. He's failed in the Premier League miserably, and I know there's mitigating circumstances to all of that.
This is just to beat Emery. That's what I'm saying. Just to kind of put the debate between him and Emery to bed. I'm not saying about whether he's successful or not. I'm just saying from a point of view of when the Arteta-Emery kind of debate ends.
Well, the narrative about that is because Emery's won a lot of big trophies in his career, innit? That's what that.
Yeah,
that's what
but I mean,
is.
That said, you know, obviously, Arteta's in his first job, and Emery's been around a while, so you know he's going. You would hope he's got more trophies anyway. So, just the head-to-head, and just for the, you know, the kind of the dust to settle on the debate, if you like. There's got to be a point where that debate comes to an end.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think, say Arteta wins the Champions League, I'll use that as the example. Say he wins that, then that debate's completely shut down because I don't think Emery's ever got close to winning that.
No, he's won Europa loads of times.
He's won Europa loads of times.
Didn't he get to the quarter-final?
Yeah,
he's got to another quarter-final, hasn't he?
He was in charge of the PSG team that was 4-0 up against Barca and ended up losing 6-1.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he's also in charge of us in one of the most humiliating days in my club's history.
Yeah.
And that was under Unai Emery.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, I'm not Arteta's biggest fan at the moment, but if he wins the Champions League, then for me, all is forgiven.
Yeah, I mean, how much time are you talking that buys him?
If he wins the Champions League?
Yeah.
As long as we still do what we need to do in the summer, which is sign a striker, a winger, and another midfielder, the backup goalkeeper sorts itself out. But those three positions, top players, and we go again in the league, then he's bought himself loads of time, I think. Because obviously obviously I play football in it, and I've played for a lot of good teams. I have like what I'd like to call a winning mentality. So I want to win in it. Yeah. I'm one of those fans that don't accept second place. I used to hate it when people used to celebrate us finishing fourth. But when we first moved to the Emirates, I could understand it because we didn't have the money to compete with the other teams in the league. Yeah. Now, because we've been so close the last two seasons, last season I could accept finishing second place because we took it to the final day and we won 16 out of 18 games and that wasn't good enough. Like, that's completely different. This season, the way we've gone about our business in the league, yes, mitigating circumstances and all that, you can go into each one, has been nowhere near good enough from everyone. Players, manager, board, everyone. But his saving grace is the Champions League because other than the Inter Milan game, which was an absolute robbery of a penalty, we've been nothing short of exceptional.
Yeah, there's been about 3 or 4 of those handballs that basically haven't been given as well in the Champions League. And we were told, right, and I watched somebody who's normally quite, well, he's impartial, and he said that basically they've come out and said that in the Champions League, that's a penalty. But I've seen about 3 or 4 of them, and they've not been penalties at all.
Yeah, they've not been given. Yeah, yeah.
So I agree with you on that point. In fact, I agree with most of that, to be fair. So yeah, I completely. But for me, I'm not even at any point. I'm not Arteta out next season.
That's fair.
I think I'm okay. There's enough mitigating circumstances. I do apportion some blame with him, how we haven't competed enough in the Premier League, because I do think it was gettable. But I apportion a lot of blame to Edu. I apportion a lot of blame to A2 as well, who basically apparently was doing a superior job at not very much, in my opinion. But obviously, I wasn't in the part of the boardroom, and obviously the boardroom and the board themselves. I have issue with because I don't think they backed the team. I don't think they showed an eagerness to win, and they came out and basically said, "Well, get excited about stuff," and they completely let us down. So that's where I am. I think he's got at least he's got another season, and then we kind of address it when we get to this point next season. Bez, I can see you going red already. You're already as red as that
It's the
shirt.
light. Look, it's the light, man.
It's not the light, Bez. Come on.
Yeah, that is the
Bez.
biggest heap of sweaty bullshit. Your face is covered.
Shush you. You're supposed to be recovering down there. What are you talking about?
Mate,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
chilling. I'm chilling.
I'm chillaxing it. I'm chillaxing it. That
It's
makes
fine. We don't
sense.
play tonight. So yeah.
How dare you, Charlie? After all we've been through together, and you do.
Oh yeah, I
that.
know. Mate, I only speak the truth, innit? I only speak the truth.
I'm on the fence of it. I'm not complaining. You're doing very well. Keep it up.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Arteta board
Or bandwagon, more like the bandwagon. Right?
bandwagon? Yeah, obviously it is a bandwagon, because it's kind of led by rival fans, which I think is completely ridiculous. To be fair, I think it should be led by us and only us, as to decide whether our manager gets the Gooner or not, as the case may be. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Bez?
All right. I'll keep this. Please feel free to tell me to back up if I divert to something else. I promise you.
I'm already prepared, mate. I've got the reins
You got the
in
stirring
the
pot ready.
background.
Yeah? You got the stirring pot
Mate,
ready.
I'm just chilling, innit? I'm gonna listen to everything.
God, mate, there's
You're gonna
this
clip me, Charlie. You're gonna clip me,
I,
Charlie.
I,
No, I don't clip in it. I'm not one of those people. But if you do say
I mean,
something that is, you do
I
something, I
clip.
will cook you in it.
I clip. Don't worry about that. It will be getting clipped, whatever it is. So yeah. Go for it, Bez.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm a big fan of Ted as a man, as a manager. What Charlie's saying is not wrong. I don't dispute that one bit. I really don't dispute it. In the sense of I want him to be able to go to look, I don't want to jinx him for God's sake, because I feel like he's only 24 hours before the game. I simply want to go to the semi-final, provided who play. I do want PSG as well, as I said to you the other week, Sparks. I personally do want him to go to, let's say, okay, we're going there now. We go to semi-final. I guess if we're to play well, I guess if we lose, we lose. But lose gracefully. I mean, at least like we didn't have that sucker punch moment, for a wrong, as Charlie said, wrong tactic, the wrong like move in the chessboard. I want to see like some fighting spirit in the squad, because it is there that we see the fighting spirit is there. Like we all know. Yes, the league is not being great. Without me
Are
reciting
you
the reason.
comparing it to the league, though?
No, without comparing the league, I'm saying. Without reciting what happened in the league. The league
Right.
is the league. I'm saying
Because I feel like you're doing a bit of a crossover. I feel like
Am
you're
I?
comparing the league performance.
It's not been
Why
great,
is he
has it, though?
deflecting?
Huh?
Why is he deflecting? Stay on topic. Focus.
No.
Well-
I'm just saying that what I don't want to happen is to kind of go, right, okay, well, it's really lethargic in the league, but but it's energy in the Champions League. Because I think that we should, against Real Madrid, we showed energy, but the game at the weekend beforehand, the Everton game, I think it was, we didn't really show that energy. It's like
But
we were saving ourselves, weren't we?
that's why I'm alluding to the league as well. I'm saying that's why I'm alluding to the league as well, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
But in hindsight, then I'll talk about the Champions League if it's fair. I'll talk about the. Can I talk
No,
about
I'm not picking you up. I'm just saying that there's a reason, or rhyme and reason, for the lethargic Premier League performances, because we can't win the Premier League anymore.
No, I hear that.
They've already obviously accepted that, I think we've all accepted that.
I have
And
now. I have now. I promise you, I have now.
yeah, and so we're playing at 60%, 70% in league games because we don't want anybody injured. So that's the only reason I was putting a caveat in there, that basically saying, well, don't compare the two because they're not, you're comparing apples with pears.
I'll stick to the
Does that make
Champions League.
sense?
I'll stick to the upper, which is the
I'm
Champions
not
League.
telling you where to go. I'm
No,
just
you have you
I'm putting the
can
caveat
you
in
can
there.
you can
So
you can. Don't
yeah,
worry, you can.
yeah.
Okay, then I'll say Champions League. Then. For me personally, it's been a great run to this point. The way he's asserted himself, as you know, as his first proper job. The way he's kind of like handled himself. I personally think that, as I said, going to the semi-final, he needs to just be able to control his emotions a bit as a manager. Like put the right teams on the right team in the pitch, of course, the right players in the right positions. And I keep repeating myself this millions of times. Now don't put Party fucking in the right back. He doesn't belong there. I'm sorry, he don't belong in right back. End of story. Before I lose my marbles, because I don't want to see my best midfielder, to be honest, being in right back. That's not his position. Or more like, that's not his natural position. I personally want, and I'll say this, have some bit better man management skills to some players. Because like say Raya, I know he's like a outfield player now. There's times as well I feel like Raya, get back in your bloody box. You know, without me ranting, you know? There's times that he needs to have a little conversation through the game to say, like, look, stay back. Stay back. Like don't get that distracted by small things, you know, as a football player. Because I'm not having a good Arteta myself, for my own, you know, view. I personally wanted to see go to semi-final, be ready, no matter that. Okay, that's it. You're giving 1 more 2 years. The board needs to look at themselves, wherever we are next. You know, good or bad. Because we need some reshuffle within that board. The squad needs some tinkering. You know, to be honest with you, it needs some tinkering. I personally, you know me, I'm very optimistic. You know, I'm still it's hard to tell now. Even me, I'm sometimes usually very optimistic or I'm very pessimistic. Usually, now I'm just sitting on the fence between both, if that makes sense. I personally seen
Not
this
really,
squad.
no.
What are you talking about? Well,
It
that's
doesn't make sense, does it? Either you're on the fence or you're
mate. Okay, then I'll give you two
optimistic or
examples.
pessimistic.
Like
You can't
I'll
be
give you
on
two
all
examples.
three.
It's two examples. Okay, I'm not gonna let me say this before I'm confusing my own words now. Hey, hold on. I said to people, Saka needs to come on, score against Fulham. He scored. Fair enough. I said to you, and I said to my mates, Declan Rice will score the second free kick. How do you know? I mean, I just think I can read the game. Like, I can see that he will score it. I just knew he will. I believe that he will. But people can call me deluded. My best mate, right? My best mate, I swear to God, he stood there like, how did you know he scored the second one? I was like, I just know. Honestly, I didn't do any sort of magic anything anywhere. I was like, he just will. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying you can't be all three instances. That's all I'm saying.
In what way?
So you think whatever we get, if we get knocked out of the semi-final, he's still got another year?
Yeah, with a slight hesitation now. Yes, and maybe one, and the second one has to be reviewed where you went wrong, where you went right. To say
But that's what I kind of think. You basically get to this point next season and assess it again.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with you both opinions. I'm not arguing or disagreeing at all. But I'm just saying to you, I'm on the fence with both opinions.
I think me and Charlie are kind of the same opinion, to be honest. So
Fine.
yeah, I've not always been able to say that, but
Fair enough.
yeah, it comes to a point where you kind of go, right, okay, now's the time, isn't it? But there's a caveat to that because I think it was let down by the board. Edu shafted us all with the and left us needing the Sterling loan.
Don't ask about that again.
Is outrageous. No, I have no real issue with the Sterling loan. Well, the issue I have is that we were in the position where we saw the Sterling loan as beneficial. We should in my opinion, we should have addressed that position at least 18 months ago, if not 2 years ago.
Yeah. But then again, there was need for striker, and then you can see his striker position was very important even before the season started.
Yeah, but it's not just about a striker, is it? I mean, our biggest problem for me, especially against low block teams and such like, who don't have the quality to kind of beat us playing football,
Yeah.
is that everything goes down that right hand side, and if it comes down the left hand side, it's like a freight train, and nothing comes off the end of it.
You could describe it as that. You could describe it as that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you've got Saka and Ødegaard and whatever in that right hand corner. They can double up, treble up, do whatever, and you haven't got an out on the other side.
Exactly. There's no left-sided attacker. Sorry, excuse my hand.
We don't even switch play anymore. It's literally got to be trickled across the floor. Whether it goes right back to centre backs, to trickle back, to then go to the left winger, and that bugs me as well.
Same.
That's why I'm a bit triggered. The number of times you get sucked into that corner, and you're like, right, okay, you've got everybody over there now. Now switch it, and he's got a free run at the back post.
That's why I'm triggered, Spock. Not because I'm having digging anyone. I'm honestly a bit triggered, thinking why is the left side not really very much used these days at all?
Like, because we don't have the quality going down that side. That's why.
Because look who's playing there, bro.
I do like him. I'm not lying, Charlie. But then again, he has his moments. I know he has his moments. That young lad, he has his moments.
Yeah, but he should have his moments alongside somebody else. So he should.
I agree.
He shouldn't be the starter all the time for me.
No, rotation. I've said to you rotation many times, haven't I?
Yeah, so he can come in to kind of relieve and give a different dimension. But again, that's another Edu signing that for me.
Exactly what I was about to allude to, but you said it. You just took literally the words out of my mouth as well. Honestly, I'm not kidding you.
So everybody basically gives it all this crap, and Arteta can't sign players, and Arteta can't do this. Well, how much of it is on Edu? Because I don't think he can, and that's why I hope that the Berta coming in will now kind of lift those shackles a little bit and go, right, okay, maybe we can get the quality signings that we're after.
Yes, that's what I say. Yes, hopefully.
Do you think it's going to make a difference, Charlie?
He looks serious to me. I mean, you had the news that he was signed, and then the exact same day you had the Gyökeres Ornstein bomber.
Yeah, I mean, he was working already. He just the announcement.
Yeah, I know, but it adds a little bit of fuel to the fire, I think. And to be fair, Berta's been to every game, isn't he, so far? And they always go to him in the crowd, and you can see that he's looking at what we're doing and certain players. And so I think Berta has come in knowing who he wants to buy, how he wants to buy them, and how much he's willing to go to, sort of thing.
But he's not coming in unless he gets a sufficient budget to do his own thing, is he? Surely, if he's coming into the position of Edu, he's got to go, right, okay, what budget we're talking? We got to be talking serious money.
Well, we haven't spent any serious money, have we? Really, we didn't spend any in January.
Which is kind of where I was going with the actual money situation. Because
and then in the summer, we sort of we spent a bit, but then we made money back on other players.
We made like 20 million quid, didn't we, or something?
Yeah. So this summer, I reckon, depending on who we buy and how we buy them, you could be looking at 200 million plus.
I'm going to say it's got to be more than that, surely.
Yeah, I think it should be more than
400,
that.
500 and things. Sorry, Charlie. 400, 500 in my eyes.
Oh God, no. We're not Man City. We're not going to.
Yeah, no, 400 then. Okay, I'll be generous. I'll say 400. How about that? Is that too much?
Well, I'm looking at it like this: probably about 70 to 80 for Gyökeres, 51 million Zubimendi, so that's 130 million. Then Nico Williams is probably about 40, 50 million. So that's 180 million on those 3 players. Yeah. Then the players that we sell, like Zinchenko. I know Tierney's going on a free, but Zinchenko will be sold, for example.
Yeah.
And then, potentially. And then the backup goalkeeper, because he's obviously going to sign a backup goalkeeper. So I reckon you're probably looking at about 200 million.
And you've got one of Jorginho, maybe both of Jorginho and Partey, but I still get the feeling that Partey's going to get an extension.
Yeah, I think TP5 needs to get an extension. He showed the other night against Madrid. That's the best game I've ever seen him play for Arsenal.
Yeah, mad, wasn't it? It was actually mad. He was an absolute general.
Mate, I said it the other day, when I was arguing with someone. He was going on about Declan Rice, and that's fine. He deserves all the praise. But TP5 was man of the match. Don't care what anyone else says. Bossed it, mate. Minute one.
He hadn't scored the 2 free kicks. Absolutely, I completely agree with you. It was Partey's man of the match.
He was immense, mate. Like every time Camavinga got the ball, he was turning out and Partey was up his arse. And then when he did try, what
I actually liked about it, because I've kind of pulled him up for his kind of hesitancy and his having to think about things quite too much. But there was none of that. It was literally, I'm just going to bundle it. I'm going to get the ball. And Lewis Skelly, for such a young player, was his outlet every single time.
Yeah, that kid's going to be a well beater. I think he's better than Wanyeri as well.
I think so. Well, that's the other thing, right? Because obviously you've got 2 guys that have come through the academy. This was supposed to be Wanyeri's breakthrough, wasn't it?
It still is. Wanyeri's an absolute gem, but I think...
Yeah, I know, but this was supposed to be his. It was supposed to be, everything he does was supposed to be kind of...
Yeah, I hear it, yeah.
Scrutinised and whatever. But Lewis Skelly, 3 games in, basically took it over.
Yeah,
and he's out of position as well. He offers a different dimension in the midfield. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't particularly like it when he and Timber, when they're both invert into the midfield.
Yeah, it don't work, does it?
It just kind of narrows it down, and there's you've almost got to have Lewis Skelly with a white, and vice versa on the other side. So basically a Timber with a Calafiori, if you like.
Yeah, I agree. Completely
Something
agree.
like that. So you've got a bit more balance, and then you can shift over the midfield, and then Partey kind of drops in between centre backs and stuff.
I completely agree. I think because Lewis Skelly is basically a younger version of Zinchenko, but can actually defend. Having Timber, who is mustard as well, by the way, doing the exact same thing on the other side, to me doesn't make sense. He just makes us even more narrow.
Yeah.
So, but he hasn't had a choice because Ben White ain't been fit, so he's sort of had no choice in that regard.
Yeah, which isn't bad to say. We've had no injuries this year. If you listen to rival fans and such like, it's just like, well, Ben White's been missing for how long? He had to have an operation as well. And we had Timber was out at points. Calafiori was out at points.
I mean, Tommy Yasu's missed the whole season, and people are forgetting about him. I think Tommy Yasu's brilliant as a utility player.
Zinchenko was injured as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I mean,
but injuries though, Sparks. Yeah, I was told that I can't use injuries as an excuse, and this was by everyone. So that means that no one can use injuries as an excuse.
No, they can, but just not us. You know, having injuries, right? It's not an excuse, but we're second having injuries, and other teams that have supposedly been demonized by injuries are 13th and 14th.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like when we was talking about it earlier with the whole Spurs thing, there's a significant difference between them and Man United. Spurs have had half their team out for most of the season, so you can understand them being where they are. Manchester United, on the other hand, have no excuse whatsoever. No excuse.
Well, actually, I think they do. I think they do, but I think it's a whole different excuse, and I actually don't think that's an excuse at all. It's a reason. And firstly, I don't think that they should have given Ten Hag that money if they were going to replace the manager.
Yeah, agree with that.
They should give that to the new manager.
Agree with that.
However, I'm not convinced from what I've seen from Amorim that I would trust him with the money.
Yeah, but he's trying to play this old style system, back five, effectively. With
is it like an old and new system at the same time, isn't it? It's kind of
he's playing. I mean,
weird.
people are saying it's a back three. It's not. It's a back five. When you look at them, they've got 3 centre backs with 2 wing backs, and then they play this effectively what's a diamond in midfield with 2 centre mids and then 2 cams. But
wasn't it Sven that played that with England? Was it Sven that played? Was it Sven
yeah,
that
I think
played
Sven
it?
plays, but
It was a system that he had.
He played a 4-4-2 at times with Scholes on the left mid. But
funny about that up, Spurs. I always remember as we were growing up in England how Lampard and Gerrard never had chemistry together. In the national team at all. Had nothing there. I'm sorry to break up that void, but literally, like growing up to be a young football fan at the time. I was only 15, 16 at the time, before the social media world, and I love them equally. I mean, Lampard is not a bad man. Gerrard's not a bad man. Excuse me. I just never understood why they never clicked, for England. I never understood that.
Because they're all completely different players.
And
Gerrard's your all-rounder. Scholes is your passer, your deep-lying playmaker. And Lampard is like he's basically your cheating central midfielder. He sort of sits in like 10 positions and scores bare goals. Mate, if I had to pick, I'd have a midfield of Gerrard and Lampard. Scholes wouldn't be anywhere near it.
Do you know? I think the Lampard position, I think it's so hard to replicate now. I don't think many can do it very much at all.
I think Lampard is criminally underrated.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is, it's a unique position that kind of never really got the credit.
Yeah, he was effectively a 10, innit? If you look at a lot of the positions he was taking up, he was playing central mid, but he was effectively playing as a 10.
Yeah, but Havertz plays the same way.
Yeah, he does.
When he's in midfield,
not as well, obviously. Obviously, I'm not putting him in the same ballpark.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying the style of play is very similar.
Yeah, the only difference between the two is Havertz is not a bagsman, whereas Lampard was.
Yeah, for sure, and obviously that's what I'm saying. And obviously, the quality is completely radically different. But
it's like the Gerrard thing. Like Gerrard could just do everything, bro. He could tackle, could pass, could shoot.
Yeah,
he could definitely shoot. Whereas for me, like, it's when people argue about it all the time. For me, there was a reason that Scholes was the one that was put out on the left wing. That tells me
it's another Foden thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, Foden won PFA Player of the Year. I hear it, but the drop off from that guy,
mate, he should never have got that. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I don't think Phil Foden's better than Bukayo Saka. And that's not because I'm an Arsenal fan. I just don't see how you can think that Phil Foden is better than Bukayo Saka. He might be more technically gifted than Bukayo Saka, but he's definitely not a better football player.
No, it's purely because he's bagged the trophies. That's all it is.
Yeah. When you watch the pair of them play, I mean, one of them turns up for England and the other one doesn't, for starters. Like, that's the biggest you can get. Saka turns up for his country and is a guaranteed starter. I don't think Foden's even a guaranteed starter anymore.
I don't think he is either.
I mean, I think Cole Palmer has more of a starting berth than even he doesn't start because Bellingham plays in both their positions. So, and they're not playing on the right because Saka's out there. So that only leaves the left wing. So you've got 3 players effectively competing for one position.
So where does that leave Lewis Skelly then? Because obviously his position's left back now.
He's a midfielder though, isn't he?
But he is a midfielder.
I can see him potentially against dead rubber teams next season, like at home, if we need to rotate or rest players, I could see Skelly getting, like what Zinchenko's been doing recently, where he's been playing games in midfield. I could see Skelly doing that. And then we having a Calafiori when he's back fit, playing at left back, where he should be playing. That's what I reckon could happen.
Do you reckon that's why he's been giving Tierney minutes? Because he's
Yes,
going to try and put that
we've got,
in.
yeah.
And because obviously we got dead rubber games kind of already.
That's what I mean. These games are dead rubber games. So I'm seeing the midfield of Jorginho,
I mean,
Zinchenko.
what do we need? What do we need? Like 3 points, maybe 3 points to consolidate.
Well, we've got Ipswich away. After this Madrid game, we've got Ipswich away.
So if we can't get 3 points from that,
if we beat them, which we should, that will confirm their relegation back to the Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more saying about obviously at the top in the Champions League and where we finish. That kind of that kind of puts the Champions League position to bed, doesn't it?
I think the Champions League position has been put to bed already because the teams below us, other than Newcastle, who are the only team on form, everyone else is inconsistent.
Yeah, I think Newcastle get it anyway, don't they?
Well, Nottingham Forest have started losing. Chelsea, you don't know what you're going to get with them week by week, and their fixtures look horrible. City again, you don't know what you're going to get from them after time. Newcastle, I think they're going to end up finishing third. You know.
Yeah, I think they're going to be up there, and City, I fancy City as well.
I think Newcastle third, and I think City will sneak fourth just because I think Forest will crumble, and because they've got an FA Cup semi-final coming up.
So do you think Forest will finish fifth then, or do you think
Forest fifth, and then I think Chelsea sixth, and Aston Villa seventh, because Aston Villa have obviously got this game tonight. Yeah, they're going to be knackered come their game at the weekend.
Yeah, but the fixtures for Chelsea are much worse than Villa's. Yeah,
they are, but Villa, you don't know if Villa get knocked out tonight, that could sucker punch them for the rest of the season. Plus, they've got an FA Cup semi-final as well.
Yeah, they've got an FA Cup game as well, haven't they? Who are they playing in the FA Cup?
Crystal Meth.
Oh, it's Crystal Palace. Yeah. Yeah. So do you think they get derailed? Villa get derailed altogether? And
no, I don't think they get derailed altogether because I still think they'll finish sixth or seventh. I don't know. I mean, I think if there's anyone that's going to get derailed altogether, it'll be Forest because, like, they've
already started, haven't they?
Yeah, they just lost at home to Everton, which to me is a weird result. Like that result was wild. At least with us, yeah. You can sort of accept that we're just chilling on the beach when it comes to the Premier League. Whereas the other teams below us are all playing for their Champions League place. Ours is all but guaranteed, I think.
Yeah, I think we're kind of just literally just playing for draws, really.
Yeah, we're literally just chilling. Like if we wanted to beat Brentford, yeah, we would have gone and beaten Brentford, didn't it? There was no urgency or emphasis to go and beat Brentford.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think literally it was just kind of a case of we just need to get that through that game without any injuries.
I mean, the Jorginho injury don't make a difference to us because he wasn't going to start anyway. So
it only makes a difference for basically next week, really.
Well, I think if we get through, which we should. The Ipswich game, there's no excuse not to put out a stronger team, obviously, because...
So it's a 3-week gap, is it?
You've got that game, and then we've got Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah, midweek. Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to play the best team in those two games because there's no Champions League fixture. Yeah,
so that kind of consolidates it, and then...
So if we win those two, then I think we're guaranteed second, depending on what...
I think the people, the teams behind us kind of play each other anyway, don't they? I mean,
Aston Villa have got Newcastle. Nottingham Forest have got to play Chelsea.
Chelsea have got Newcastle as well.
Chelsea have got Newcastle.
And who is it that's got Forest as well? There's Forest have got a...
Oh, what a save.
Forest got a decent team as well. So, yeah. Which game are you watching?
I got Villa on.
You need to start watching that myself very shortly.
Yeah, so it's...
Mate, Villa are all over these lot, to be fair, but they're going to be because they need.
Yeah, well, this is the thing because they obviously set up to control the midfield, and
The
but then
atmosphere looks lively, though. To be fair,
yeah,
the
well, I mean,
PSG
it's going to be in it because obviously it's double the price for their tickets, isn't it, this time?
Well, I mean, the PSG fans in the away end look immense.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean they're always bloody lively, to be fair to them. Yeah, look, I mean, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Anyway, we go and watch the football, but yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Charlie.
Nice one for having me on, mate. Definitely do it
Yeah,
again.
welcome anytime, my friend. You're in the chat now, so just give us a heads up and whatever whenever you're available. Welcome anytime.
Thank you very much. Nice one. Sweet
Bears.
Bez.
Enjoy, mate.
What do you say?
I
I
said
said
enjoy.
sweet Bez. Right, I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, see you in a
Take
bit,
care,
mate. Bez, thank you very much for being on, as usual.
Oh, he's gone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so seen a random thing come through. But anyway, yeah, I just seen a random thing come through, a notification for a video that I did like about 6 months ago. Anyway, so yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you on Thursday when we've got the good news out of the way. Yeah, good luck to Villa. Think it might be too much for them, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, I've been Sparks. This is Footy Corner, and we'll see you next time. Good night.